Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. And somebody wants Arial font with rounded caps. I used to think there was a rounded, but also they don't want the bottom rounded. They just want the tops and the two F's, part of the F rounded. There's two ways to do it. And just for the one I'm doing the video for, I took your font, I made them outlines, and I made them hairlines. And the advantage to making them big, I mean, these things are 4 inches tall. Your original letters were real small. Well, if you turn them in hairlines, your lines become really thick and it's kind of hard to work with. You can resize it at any time, but being a hairline, you can get a lot more accurate. So first, we're going to do it two different ways. We're going to use the 3-point curve, and we're going to go from that node to that node, and then we're going to start moving it back up. We're going to hold down the control button, and that gives us almost a perfect half circle. Now, this is an eyeball. You're not exactly, maybe right. And some of you are going to get an idea how to do the next one when I just said that. Now, the reason this hairline is going to help because it's going to snap right to it. And if you only had to do a couple letters, this might be really cool. Let's get the virtual segment delete key and delete this line and this line, and then use the Smart Fill tool to fill that in. And we have our first letter complete and solid. Now, the other way to do it, and we have to think about the height. We could have really thought about the length here, but we're going to think about the height. So we're going to bring in an indexing line, and we need the top of the H cap to be at the top of the F. So we're going to do this a little bit different. We're going to measure it with a parallel dimension tool, and this is where the hairline helps you because it's more accurate. So 0.57, remember that. We're going to make an ellipse that is 0.57. So I'm going to hold down the control button, make a perfect one. Type in here 0.57. Go ahead and make a duplicate because we need both sides. Now here's a good little trick. To get it perfect, it'll snap to the center of that. Now, half of 5.7 is 0.28 and a half. So now we can bring this, nudge this down, get our, it must not be perfect. You know what? It's not. Let's try this. Let's try extending out our, and this will be a good little lesson here. Let's take the parallel dimension tool and run out the numbers a little bit. 0.57, let's run it out a couple of digits. So 0.57303. So let's make our ellipse, even though it's not going to show it, it's going to write it, or it's going to make it that size, 0.57303. Made it just a hair bigger. Get what I do. Let's get rid of this number. Now it should snap right to the center of that, and now we can move down that. We could figure out the math and be perfect, but it's good enough. You can see it's a little bit off. Now we can use our, and we don't really even have to take away this part because we can use the Smart Fill tool. So you could do that the same way, with the other ellipse, or Control D and make a duplicate. And this is going to be a little bit more challenging because it's like right there. Now I'm going to show you where we don't have to take away those lines because we're going to use the Smart Fill tool, fill that in, and those lines can stay there forever and ever without causing any problem. But that's how you would make the two letters. Now he actually needed them joined together, and that's what the part about that, it actually kind of makes a cross in the section, and just take them both and weld them. I don't know exactly where you want them, but there's your logo that you were trying to get with rounded tops. I think it's a fence company, from what he kind of alluded to. So this is like the top of the fence, and this is the bottom of the fence. Anyway, I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.